so accurately, but ding. This is a sign of his form, unfortunately.
It's a very sad story for the reigning world champion. Great news for Fabiano Caruana, who started this round at the bottom of the standings, but as we mentioned, the Classical win is rewarded with 3 points, so he could actually be leading the tournament if things go well for him on the other boards as well. But so far, it seems like this game, I don't see how he could spoil it. Yesterday he spoiled his game against Firouzja because it was an Armageddon and time scramble, but this is a Classical game with Fabiano on 35 minutes. He's gonna win this in the next few moves.
I think you're right. I think he will. I don't think Fabi lets fish like this off the hook. Not the Ding Lorenzo fish. I'm talking about the position. I think Fabiano will...
Still 2 minutes up on the clock, Hikaru, but key moments ahead. We talk about strategies in Armageddon. Either you curl up and you stay solid as black, just try to hunker down and get that draw, or you take risks and go aggressive like this. Alireza definitely choosing the latter strategy there. I'm slightly bemused as to why this was given a question mark. I guess black could have taken back a pawn on c5 on the last turn. It is a sacrifice. He's now down 2 pawns temporarily for Firouzja. Hikaru maybe missing something even stronger, maybe pawn to c6 first, and only later backing it up by taking this pawn with the bishop. But it's such a crazy position, it's going to be hard to be accurate. That's what Firouzja's kind of angling for here.
He's angling for it, but I am starting to be worried about his position and the time ticking. As we know, there is no increment until move 40, and even then it's only a 1 second increment. So if he's gonna have this pressure both on the board and on the clock because of the Armageddon format, I think it's gonna be really tough for him. At the same time, he's speeding up now. He calculated a long line.
They both are. And I was going to say, from a practical perspective, okay, Hikaru is like, no, there's no practical perspective here. I've already calculated it all. It's concrete. But I was going to say, from a practical perspective, whenever all the moves are becoming about the side of the board where the enemy king is, you're happy, even if you sometimes lose a pawn, because especially in blitz, you're getting pressure and human beings tend to make blunders when their king is attacked. But Hikaru calculated all of this. Now he'll probably take on e6 unless he has another way to defend the d-pawn. Okay, no, he does. And so in the end, Hikaru's up a healthy pawn, and maybe Firouzja's pressure is really just non-existent. This is a good move too, by the way. Get the queens off the board. There will be no checkmate attack, and then Hikaru can happily convert the extra queen side.
Yes, what about timing? If black got one more move in that last position, if black's f8 rook were able to kind of hop over to b8, so both rooks bearing down against the white king, then great compensation. Just no time. There's small margins at this top level, but that's why, as you say, Danny, great move. Hikaru playing tempo by tempo, bullying black with the idea of trades, and rook c6, a self-pin, and the blue arrow makes an appearance. White.
And it's the move that's human too. Hikaru doesn't even need a lot.
He just goes for it. Going for it.
So such a great point that how much the time makes a big difference there, right? If the black rook had been on b8, points away from beating the hometown hero, the Norwegian world champion, Magnus Carlsen. His classical chess struggles, as we've said, continue here.
Classical chess, a struggle for Magnus. In the meantime, Armageddon, a struggle for Firouzja. Pawn down, 30 seconds now left on his clock, and he hasn't yet reached through 47 moves to make in 30 seconds. And he's pawned down, and he's facing one of the greatest technicians of our time, Hikaru Nakamura.
And I think that's going to be a wrap. You're right. I think Hikaru is going to take this one. By the way, Humpy Canero won her battle versus Lei Ting Jie. So shout out to Humpy Canero there. Lei Ting Jie loses her first Armageddon game. She had won 2 to this point. She was tied for second with Zhu and Jun coming in, both of them chasing the youngest player in the field by Shali. But Humpy Canero goes from last place to right in the thick of it with that Armageddon victory.
Congrats to her, and in the meantime, I mean, where to look? There's so much action all over the place. Hikaru's slowed down. 3 minutes now. But
such a time advantage. He can do this. He can invest a bit more time here just to make sure that he's playing the most precise continuation. Extra pawn, very active pieces, more time on the clock. He's got everything he needs to win this Armageddon game with the white pieces.
Look at the control, just putting his pieces, parking them on protected outposts. Hikaru's taking 0 risk here. He's going to activate the white rooks, activate the white king even. If all the rooks disappear from the board, white simply wins. Just like Danny said earlier, knight endgames are similar to pawn endgames. Pawn up simply for Nakamura outside pass pawn material. And here we go. Open file, domination from Hikaru Nakamura. Magnus, though, on the camera looks almost ready to resign.
Yeah,
I know, I was going to say the same. He's looking at the score sheet like, where did I go wrong? Kind of look on his face, isn't it?
I agree, and I thought he had just moved, but you're right. He was looking at the score sheet. I don't know. It doesn't matter what he's thinking about now, but he knows he's thinking about how to save this game, and he's struggling to find answers.
Alireza in 1 second, and he needs to make 2 more moves to get increments. 2
Alireza.
more moves. With 1 second on over the board chess.
Okay, he plays 1. He's got 1 more move to make.
Did it so casually.
39, playing King of 8 like it was no big deal. Does he realize that like a single move by Hikaru when he loses on time? Okay.
He loses on time.
He lost.
And he does lose on time, okay. That was so funny. Alright, well, to be fair, Hikaru was also winning on the board.
Yeah, even if he survived to make it to the increment, the position
and
was
I think that was
lost.
partly why Firouzja's body language was slightly dejected, slightly